Good morning, everybody. Cowboy here. It is the last day of the year, Tuesday, the 31st of December, 2024. So we're going to go over the charts. Let's jump right into it. I called this bounce, the bounce that we're seeing right now in Bitcoin. I called it. I drew it 2 days ago. It was on the Sunday video. Go back and look. Let's zoom in. Price bounced right off of this area, this bottom of this consolidation. Very, very clear place it was going to bounce. Pretty easy to call. It wasn't a genius thing. But when you see a lot of movement at the same pivot point, then it's pretty reasonable to say, hey, it's probably going to do that again. So let's zoom in a bit and we'll see if the rest of what I said is going to happen, may happen or not. Okay, so this bounce was pretty well called. I mean, it moved up a little more quickly than I thought it would. I thought it might not move up quite as fast because we are now at the end of the year, and a lot of times there's not a lot that happens. There's not a lot of volume, but it seems as if price is creating this pretty much like a hodgepodge of up and down in a, let me see, 91 to 94. So about a $4,000 range. One could draw a sort of a range around this, but it's not very clean. So I don't know that I want to do that. The question is will price go up from here or will it reject where it has rejected before? And we can see here that there are a lot of pivot points around this area, right? Where that little rectangle is, both top side and bottom side. There's a lot of pivot points going all the way back to this period. And that's just the midpoint of this larger range. So will price reject at the midpoint of this range right here, this larger rectangle, right? Or will it continue to go back and forth? Will it go down or will it continue upwards? Well, let's take a look at the algos and see what the algos say. Now, this is a 3-hour chart, which is bullish, but there's not a lot of volatility right now. There's not a lot of volume. The daily chart still has a bearish tint to it, but I am seeing some data that tells me it's either going to pop up or it's just going to stay where it is for the moment. Now, it could reject, it could head down, and that's very, very possible. But I think at least for today, or a lot of today, I think price is going to stay right where it is, and then possibly it might start to head down. It 3 times. It 3 times. Hey, Chunks in the house. What's up, man? It 3 times. Good to see ya. Man, that's so random to have you in here. I call him Chunk. Bullseye. It's good to see you. Yeah, so apparently X is allowing us to make comments. That's really cool. Yeah, really great to see you, mate. So for you, the New Year's is not too far away, right? Either way, awesome, man. Hope to see you around. I don't know if you've been in any spaces lately. I've needed sleep, my friend. Just no time to get in spaces. But yeah, back to the chart here. What I think is going to happen, very, very likely, is just for today, price may break upwards or it may just kind of continue to be in this area and then head down. One of the two, right? I think it'll break upwards and it may continue to be in this area and break upwards after that. It might kind of go back and forth and then break upwards. And it's just really hard to say which way it's going to go. So, here's the thing about trading. Trading requires conviction in order to take a trade, but the charts don't always give us conviction. So what I mean by that is if you don't have a bias as to which way price is going to go, then you just don't take a trade. Simple as that. Now, I have algorithms that give me clues as to which way price might go, right? That means that the conviction I have is influenced by data, and it's influenced by mathematical graphic representation of said data. So I have that kind of in my pocket. But we do have here a pretty clear range that's been established over time. You can even extend it back here based on this price action. So it is likely, and this is what I drew before, you'll notice, where all those pivot points were, it's a decent probability that price may rotate in this area for a bit before it chooses a direction. But we don't know. And so therefore, I'm not going to take a trade unless something is really, really clear to me. And that's just all I got for Bitcoin right now. So let's go ahead and move on. and we're going to take a look at Solana. I know everybody wants to know about Solana. What's it going to do? Solana's the big ticket, and it's just doing what I said it would do. Again, called this pretty well, rotating back and forth. The yellow is the most recent prediction. The red is the prior week, and the blue is the week before that. So I'm going to go ahead and the blue was relatively accurate. I usually don't predict out more than a week, but the blue I decided to predict out like almost a month. I don't know why I did that. Pretty darn accurate. It would go sideways and then go up. Well, it certainly went sideways. It just went down and then sideways. So we're going to get rid of this blue. You can go back. It's on the prior videos. Now, last week's prediction, I thought we would see more bearishness, right? And some really good traders entered along, sitting at about, I think they entered at about 210 or so. Respect. Good trade. It's just the algos didn't tell me to enter, and price went ahead and broke down well below that. But I think ultimately those traders who took that trade may be correct. Algorithmically, obviously the volatility is pretty low. Price is just kind of rotating in that area, and the bullishness is starting to show on the daily. But right now, yeah, I would say there's a decent chance price will just kind of go sideways in a range until it doesn't. And there is a chance that that will break to the upside like those respected traders did. They just didn't get quite the entry that I did on that. So you can see here that volatility is decreasing because this range is tightening up, right? It's kind of pulling one of these where the size of this range is forming a triangle. Now, I don't tend to trade triangles, but I do use triangles to kind of tell me what's happening with the price action. And what it's doing is it's telling me things are tightening up, right? Price is kind of tightening up and it's getting ready to do something. Especially a coin like Solana is going to do something. And so that said, we'll just have to kind of watch it and wait for it to do whatever that might be. So beautiful day. We got a handful of people watching. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching. We are now at the end of the public live lab. We're going to head over to the private live lab. Meantime, make 2025 your year. If you want to learn how to trade, or if you already trade and you want to have your trading streamlined, corrected. Let's just say you've been trading for a couple of years, but your account balance is rotating around that same number. You're scared to trade because you can't win. You keep, you keep losing trades, whatever that is. That all that's fixable. Come on over to algofactory.tech. We'll give you the tools that will allow you to fix those issues, and we'll help you learn how to trade like a hedge fund pro. Thanks for coming. Happy New Year. See you on the next one, and never ever forget.
Join us or die.